Hi guys, today we're going to talk about sexuality and how that can be integrated into our identity. Now, a lot of men struggle with this idea that our sexuality is just in this one area of our life and the rest of our life is in this other area. We need to integrate our sexuality, meaning we need to see it as just a normal thing and also uncover and unpack the shame that we have over it. We may grow up with certain narratives about our sexuality, which inhibits our conversation about it in adulthood. So we might not discuss our sexuality openly with other people because we've internalized this idea that it must be hidden, whether we've learned that idea through school or through our caregivers. But I've come here today to say that sexuality needs to be talked about openly and in a healthy and whole way. As humans, we are made of different parts, whether that be our emotions, our mind, our thoughts, our sensations, our physical body, and that also includes our sexuality. But I don't really hear it talked about too often, whether it's in church or just in areas of mental health. But I think it's would be much beneficial if we just, talk about it. And also, we lack language for our sexuality. And a lot of men struggle with shame of, okay, what if I'm not actually attracted to the opposite sex? What if I have same sex attraction? Or what if my sexuality airs more bisexuality? Or am, what if I'm just or what if I'm asexual and I don't experience any sort of sexual attraction? And I think this all needs to be discussed. I think a lot of people um, aren't even aware of their sexuality or they have suppressed it so much. But the answer isn't suppression. The answer is integration and safe discussions. We need to have safe conversations. I recommend reading this book. It is a very eye opening book about male sexuality and how we can live whole and healthy lives, understanding that. I think one of the reasons that men might struggle with pornography or certain sexual compulsions is because they have compartmentalize it and suppress it so much that they feel that that is the only outlet to express their sexuality. But that's my perspective, and take that with a grain of salt. I'll be reading a quote from this book and that I find very eye opening to this idea. It is growing up is not about becoming stronger, more stoic, a better leader, or more assertive. It's not about being sexually perfect or pure, suppressing your sexuality at the expense of your humanness. Being a man isn't about being manlier. It is about being a man who is becoming fully human. And I think that is a major struggle is that we cannot see our humanity in our sexuality. We need to be embracing parts of our sexuality to become more whole humans that live and thrive in this thing that we call life. There's also this myth that men are hypersexual, and that is nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, we are all sexual beings, but we also have different levels of how we express that. And no, men are not hypersexual. Maybe that has been perpetrated by culture and cultural stereotypes about men, whether they're straight or gay. I think even like both straight and gay men are seen as hypersexual and are seen as can only handling sex if it's only objective, but that's not true at all. Men are just whole humans. We have different parts of ourselves, and the more we are open to that, the more we can become comfortable with those different parts. And not every man is addicted to pornography. I think that's another myth. I personally don't struggle with it. I've known others that have, but not every man is.